This is Sky Sports 1.
Sky's Premier Sports coverage is presented in association with Ford.
And it's no goal. And that shows the spirit of the game as they shake hands.
Crowd is getting filled with business. The pilot
Philbin is there, and he fires in a terrific shot.
1-1 after a really fine first half.
And again, he's trying his.
He killed it in! Oh, what a goal! That's a magical finish. Great, magnificent. Oh, it's a great goal! That's the way to break it open.
Sky Sports with Ford takes you to the heart of the action.
Kevin Keegan is staying. He said today Newcastle United's title challenge starts. As for Graham Souness, can he keep Southampton in the Premiership?
Ford Super Sunday.
Good afternoon, welcome to Super Sunday today. Southampton versus Newcastle United. It is our match that we've got for you exclusively live here in the FA Carling Premiership. And a big game too. Kevin Keegan has announced he's going to be staying on with Newcastle United at least till the end of the season. So a big moment for them. Graham Souness knows that he's got a big end of the season to come. Can he keep Southampton at the moment in the Premiership, just where they're sitting and standing at the moment? Really is set for a mouth-watering game in prospect. Well, alongside me today we've got Trevor Gray. And Trevor, I would love to get your views on Keegan announcing it officially. Well, to lose the league being 12 points clear and struggling since, I think the turnaround for Keegan was potentially the FA Cup replay win. I think he's seen something in this side. I think maybe he's got a second wind. It takes so much out of you as a manager when you lose something like that. So to be able to do that, I think, was huge, and it could be massive, I think, if Newcastle can get Keegan and get some consistency, because I think that's what they've struggled, particularly away from home. Newcastle could do that. They can challenge and they could look to try and win this league. Well, every other side has played, so let's go ahead and review all those games that have taken place as well with Trev Shreves. Liverpool beat Aston Villa 2-0 at Anfield, and the first goal arrived after a lovely bit of play from Jamie Redknapp. A delightful finish that was far too much from Mark Bosnich, played through by Robbie Fowler. Turned out to be perhaps Jamie Redknapp's best performance of the season. He created the second goal, bursting three past Gareth Southwaite and squaring it for Stan Collymore to lash the ball home in front of the Kop. Liverpool are really starting to look like title challengers now. Everton took a shock lead against Arsenal, but it wasn't to be in the end. Young Michael Branch got the goal. He found space on the edge of the area. His shot was far too good for David Seaman. But it's just seemed to inspire Arsenal in the end as they found their way back into the match quite comfortably. A Lee Dixon cross was brilliantly headed in by Ian Wright to equalise. And it was from this moment on that Arsenal looked in complete control, and Arsene Wenger's side are just starting to put together a good run of form. Especially when Ray Parlour's effort struck the post, Ian Wright showed why he's the ex-marksman in the Premiership. Another goal for him, another lead for Arsenal. And it was to get even better in the end. A Paul Merson corner was brilliantly headed in by Tony Adams to score his first goal of the season. A delighted Arsenal skipper and a delighted Highbury. Arsenal with another big win keeps them very much in the title race and second. Manchester United perhaps had the hardest task of the day, but Coventry City are showing a lack of confidence. Manchester United have a large squad, and they took full advantage with it. Karol Poborski getting the opening goal. And Poborski's best performance in a Manchester United shirt was rounded off when he set up the second goal. After Gary McAllister's header, he teed up Nicky Butt for this fantastic strike that was far too good for Stiga Rizovic. Manchester United with another win. Can anyone stop them? 1-0 was all it took in the end for Wimbledon's unbeaten run to come to an end. Good work by Isic, wonderful touch by Steve Claridge, Leicester City with a big win. Nottingham Forest were able to beat Spurs, and Forest as well has shown some real recoveries of form in recent times, especially when Little's cross was brilliantly headed in by Kevin Campbell to give Forest the lead. And then a good old-fashioned long ball was good enough The clearance was brilliantly controlled by Saunders, who had the better of Mabbott, and then 1-on-1 with Walker. There was always going to be one result. 2-0 and Nottingham Forest haven't had many of these occasions, a side which they said is too good to go down. Darren Anderton shows there are still cracks in the defence, especially when Craig Armstrong was able to go ahead and strike the ball in to pull one back. Chelsea beat Derby County in a really good performance at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have been great away from home. It's away where they struggled. Mark Hughes came in for Gianluca Vialli and he got the opening goal. But Derby County show there's still something in there, and Darren Pound's cross was brilliantly headed in by Dean Surridge to draw the sides level. Chelsea went ahead and accelerated away in the game. Craig Burley back from injury. His effort found Zola. Eventually it was tapped in by Hughes to get his second goal. A bit fortunate, but in football terms you make your own luck. And then the third would arrive. A brilliant little work by Zola that sent both Daly and McGrath for chips. A lovely left-footed strike that was far too good. Chelsea worthy winners by 3-1. Middlesbrough recorded a rare home win. It's been a difficult time for them, but the highest paid player in the Premiership, Fabrizio Ravanelli, got the opening goal, an excellent touch and finish that followed. And then 2 would arrive later on when Neil Cox's cross was brilliantly met in the end by Moore, whose excellent strike was far too good. Leeds United won away from home as something which again they've struggled with this season, but they did it at Upton Park, and it was Brian Deane that got the opening goal. His left-footed strike was far too much for goalkeeper Andy Milosko. 2-0 would arrive in the end when Harry Cure went ahead and played through Deane again, who casually flicked it through to Lee Sharp, the former Manchester United man, scoring. The only goalless game of the day eventually was at Sunderland and Blackburn Rovers. There were chances of both sides, but they were no convicted chances that were really taken at full upon. Perhaps the best effort for when Wilcox's effort was shot at the near post, but it's as good as it got in this game. So the way it sets it up for the moment, Southampton win today. If they win, on goal difference they would go above Forest, but they wouldn't escape the relegation zone. Newcastle United, though, well, they really need to win to keep pace with the top 4, with United, Arsenal and Liverpool all winning. It is set out perfectly for what could be one of the most important episodes of Super Sunday that we've ever had in our 5-year run with the FA Carling Premiership here on Sky Sports. We've got the entire match coming up right after this. Now it's time to join your match commentator for this one. It's Trev Tyler.
Well, the Dell is always a proving ground here in the Premiership. It's never a ground which sides like to play in. Southampton make it difficult for them with their cramped conditions. Even such tricks as leaving the heating on in the summer, turning it off in the winter. But the heat is on for Southampton, who sit bottom of the Premiership. For Newcastle United, a win required to keep them with grounds of the leaders. Graham Souness today. Egil Ulstenstad continues to partner Matt Letizia in a centre-forward position. Robbie Slater and Al Berkovic will make up the midfield. Dave Bessett's returns in goal. Newcastle United make changes after their midweek game in which they beat Charlton Athletic. Asprilla, Gillespie, Beardsley, Howie, Barton and Beresford and Cernacek all come in. Here he is. I was looking for Asprilla and it was so close. Astino Asprilla with the flick on, Beardsley with the crossing. Asprilla throwing himself, that's so close. Gobble winning it back again. Done a good job so far in the opening 12 minutes of doing what he can to keep Ginola quiet. Hasn't had the sort of impact you expected him to have, David Ginola, compared to last season. Gillespie. Barton. There's Shearer! Ah! Shearer's header was so powerful. Bessett got a hand to it, but could do nothing about it. Good cross. But Alan Shearer shows a real deft header of quality. Power, Besson got a hand to it, couldn't stop it. Fine work in the end. Gillespie here, when he lays it back to Barton, Shearer gets ahead of Lundukvam. The header itself was on target, which is all you can do, but the power Shearer gets here, I think, is the difference maker. Besson, despite being off balance, just couldn't stop it. Howie. Beresford to Ginola. Shearer back to goal. Klaus Lundukvam getting the better of Shearer. Jason Dodd. And again, exchanging with Stats. Berkovic. Oh, he's hit it! And it's claimed by Cernacek. Best bit of football Southampton have produced today. And in the end, the shot itself wasn't that much to warrant. Cernacek on second attempt has claimed it. Lundukvam. Peacock couldn't get there. Here's Robbie Slater. Letitia. He's been quiet today, but we know what he's capable of. Benali. Gillespie's header away. Batty. Beardsley, good play. Aspria. Shearer. Oh, this is lovely. This is Faustino Aspria. And he does score. Great pass by Beardsley. Aspria just found the time and eventually got the shot away. And you sent it 2-0. That might be enough. Is that all she wrote? Lovely work by Shearer, but what a pass that was to Beardsley. Moncu was across, but in the end, Aspria was too strong for him. Waited for the perfect opportunity to release him, which perhaps Dave Besson would struggle, showing the guile of a top centre forward, but the strength to be able to do it in the Premiership. There is Newcastle's second. Barton. Gillespie. That's a clever ball. Warren Barton is there. Cross is blocked in the end by Moncu. Gillespie, that's also blocked in the end by Benali. Batty. Gillespie. Ginola is at the far post. Batty's on the edge of the area. Here he is. Beardsley. Ginola. Newcastle just trying to find the right moment to release the ball. Here's Gillespie. Now it's Warren Barton. Oh, dangerous cross. And Faustino Aspria. The aerobatic attempt, just not quite the finish perhaps he would have hoped for. Good work by Warren Barton. Really good cross. That's unlucky by the Colombian. Nearly 2/3 more time of the football against the Southampton side that are struggling to stay in the match. Aspria always got a trickle too, but Ken Moncu did enough to get hold of him. Here's Austin Stats. Jason Dodds. Berkovic. Oh, that's lovely! The Chilton's effort is brilliantly saved by Cernacek. What a way to start the first half. Really good run and pass. Maybe that was been rehearsed, but Jim Magilton there, his hit. Brilliant stop by Cernacek. Well, it's given Southampton a chance. Usenstat needs a good ball. Dodds. Beardsley is across. Here's Shearer. Releases Ginola. No one in the box. Aspria charging in now. Almost had a little kick by Ginola. Referee David Ellery, I think, is going to have a word. May potentially have awarded it in Newcastle United's favour. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it was the Southampton defender that was punished there. So Alan Shearer, will he ever go? Really tight angle. Oh, it was flicked on by Gillespie. Besant though. Well, that's easy, capable goalkeeper of his quality. And then it's broken through to Eggleston, who's through for Southampton. Oh, what a challenge by, in the end, Warren Barton. That had to be made, and it was a fantastic challenge, all things considered. Asking a lot of Gillespie, but Gillespie responds. Benali across. Crosses in towards Asprilla, and it's the wrong side of the post as far as Faustino Asprilla and Newcastle United are looking. Good work by Gillespie, who got a good crossing up against Benali. Beat Lundervan to the ball, Asprilla, but couldn't get it the correct side of the post as far as Besant needn't worry. Gillespie. Here's Ginola. Now it's one for Shearer to run here against Lundervan. And Shearer gets there and scores. Brilliant goal. And I suspect that's all she wrote. The ace marksman in the Premiership is on point here. Good work by Ginola to see Shearer, knew what he wanted, had the strength out of Lundervan, but the finish is just fantastic. Does not have a weak foot, Alan Shearer. The perfect weighted ball, just what he wanted from Ginola. Good strength, wonderful finish that was. And that's game over. Bang. Well, a change being made. Mickey Evans coming on. Here's Ginola. Beardsley. Asprilla. Matty to Gillespie. Here's Faustino Asprilla. Oh! Nice control in the effort, takes a deflection. Good work from Faustino Asprilla. David Ellery says corner, but look at this. Lovely work. And just gets away there from Lundervan. Moncu make an important block. Peter Beardsley to take the corner. 11 minutes to go. Asprilla does get the header, doesn't get it on target, doesn't get his second goal that potentially he deserves today. We'll be pleased here to come away with 3 points. It'll be so important to them in terms of the championship. Gillespie just sliding a lovely ball through to Asprilla. And how did he miss that? Well, he's not his shooting boots on today, Asprilla. Newcastle could have been ahead by 5 or 6. And you thought Asprilla was going to nail this then, but goodness me. Well, an important and impressive performance from Newcastle United. Cheers on a Southampton side that, despite giving it a go, really did lack the quality today. Another brace for Shearer, another 3 points for Newcastle United. It is also starting to look bleaker and bleaker at the moment for Southampton to stay in the Premiership. In the end, a good performance, a fine win as far as Newcastle United is concerned, but it's going to get worrying on the part of Southampton. Another defeat for them. Newcastle United march on, winners here this afternoon by 3-0.
Well, let's have a look at a couple of statistics of the game. When that concludes, you can see there Newcastle nearly 2/3 more possession than Southampton. They had way more attempts on goal, so that's very much the case. Their passing rate was more successful. They had more interceptions. Southampton, no surprise, making more tackles. Key saves, Besant 3, Cernacek 2, but in terms of the match, Newcastle's crossing 14 attempts to 2 shows you that Keegan's side very much deserve the 3-0 victory that they had. And overall, again, you'd say a really positive performance by Newcastle today that's really set them up. Yeah, excellence from Keegan's side today. They really went for it. They really produced a very professional performance against a side which really struggling. I sometimes think this is where Newcastle have struggled, but they need to forget, really they need to forget 1996. What they were doing in 95 is what they've got to do in 97. Just ignore the last 12 months. Do what you did 12 months ago. Remember the way you were playing. Remember the way that you were taking it to the games. It was intensity. It was pace. It was width. It was everything brilliant about British football. That's what they've got to recreate. If they do that, I 100% fully fancy them to get an excellent result. So yeah, really good by Newcastle. And what about Southampton? Graham Souness's side. They're struggling at the moment. They're now 3 points adrift at the bottom of the Premiership. Yeah, and, you know, the Saints' home form is okay. Their away form is what's going to stop them, you know, staying in the Premiership. That's what they've got to fix. Against a side like today, yes, you've got to expect them to get beat. And that's no disrespect to the players. You look at the setup in terms of quality. The top four you'd expect to win here. What's Southampton, what they've got to be able to do, the best sort of will in the world, is they've got to be able to go ahead and really take control of the match. So I'd like to see Southampton perhaps maybe change their formation, maybe go to a back five, maybe try and play a little more defensively with wing backs, just something that stops the opposition having so much room, which they're having at the moment. Let's have a look at the table then. Manchester United have a 2-point advantage over Arsenal at the top of the FA Carling Premiership. Liverpool are just a point behind, but Newcastle United after that win have gone fourth. They find themselves just 6 points off the top of the Premiership. Of course, they have Manchester United and Arsenal to play, so that could be very, very interesting. And of course, Liverpool-Newcastle, well, that is in March, and that could be, well, it was the game of the season last time. Could it be a real title-deciding game at the moment? Bottom of the table, Southampton are in trouble, 3 points adrift. Forest after that win will be great. Middlesbrough have dropped in. Coventry City, despite the defeat, remain outside the relegation zone. Blackburn Rovers aren't out by their draw. Leeds United, by their win, climb up alongside Everton. Sunderland, though, 13 points away from safety, which sounds silly to say, but it's all Peter Reid is talking about. And we hope you've enjoyed what we've been talking about today. FA Carling Premiership action flying away. Well, that's going to be a little break at the moment. The FA Cup will take precedence as well. FA Carling Premiership football will return with a special midweek edition. That's going to be on terrestrial television. For us here on Sky, well, you can see us again. There'll be the fourth round replays as well. And Super Sunday will return in a few weeks' time. From all of us, thank you very much for watching. We hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of your weekend. And bye-bye.